It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I had the privilege to interview the Southern University's assistant women's soccer coach, Coach Sheneaka Wright. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started coaching in college women's soccer?
Um, Actually, I didn't know. When anyone would ask, I wanted to be a doctor. But my love for the sport didn't derail my coaching experience because what happened was I got playing soccer from my brother after watching him for many years. Then I played in high school. Then I got a scholarship in the U.S. to play. Then it led me after I would say retirement to where I started volunteering. And from volunteering, it became coaching.
Of course, what was that like going to school to become a doctor and then getting into coaching?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't go to school to be a doctor. I just wanted at age 12 to be a doctor. But after speaking with a lot of individuals, it took many years. I didn't want to do it. So I stuck with business. So all my first 2 years, I did associate in sports management. Then I did a concentration in international business. Then I have my MBA in international business and supply chain management.
What was that like going to Bloomingfield College to play soccer?
So Bloomfield was special as it regards to the visit. The visit was really good. When I got there, the culture was wonderful. And then that also opened my eyes to, being in another state because I went to Harcum in Pennsylvania. So being in New Jersey, that was different. I knew some of the people there, and it was also close to my family's in New York City.
Of course, what was that experience like getting to put on that jersey for Bloomingfield?
When I first got there and I received that jersey, as always, anyone receive a jersey, you're super excited. You're super stoked to put on that jersey. So when I got there, we got our jersey. It was just fantastic. I was like, oh wow, this is really amazing because no one, everyone likes new gear. So to get that jersey, to get out there and to play for an institution that you just got into after transferring, it was just amazing for me.
What was that experience like getting to play for Bloomingfield, and what were some of your accomplishments?
As in regards to soccer, I was hit with a lot of injuries. So when it came to that, I more so tend to, you know, strengthen my focus on the academic side. So I was like all academic on the soccer field. But when it came to the field side, I think the injuries kind of hindered a little bit of my talent. So I just stuck to the classroom.
Of course, how did you battle from those injuries and not let them overcome you?
Um, it was a battle because after year two, I think I was like ready to say this was not for me, but I saw soccer as a tool that I could use to get my education. So I said, why not? After 2 years, you're going to be done. So that's all I was saying. After 2 years, I'm going to be done. So I just use it and I use it to push me through.
Of course, with getting so many injuries, what was that like learning how to become a college coach and getting mentored by some of your college coaches?
So one of the main thing I have to say, you have to start taking care of your body earlier than you would hope because you can't just start that during season. You have to start that especially during the summer. Staying in shape. If something happens, you gotta check out, look at it. In my culture, we have the tendency to not like doctors. So most time we'll think, oh, you get a little nick on your knee or you feel a little pain and you think, oh, it's okay for me to just, brush it to the side and just move on. But if a player or anyone's hurt, I think you should seek help, um, get the right treatment, and always be in the training room.
Of course, after your collegiate experience playing, what was that like getting into coaching and getting your first coaching job?
So for me, it was fun because I after graduating, I went back to Harcum where I was just volunteering. I saw them at practice. I'll stop by and watch. And then after that, the coach would be like, "Hey, how are you doing? You want to come by and just watch and see how things are going?" And I said, "Sure." So from there, I started giving my input as a player. When I used to play, this is how we used to do it. And for me, having so much knowledge about soccer, it was easy to give back. And then from there, I started like helping the players. Within a year, the athletic director approached me and said, "We want you on staff." And then it was, history from there.
Of course, what was that feeling like getting to be announced to become part of the staff of Harcum and get to coach the goalie keepers?
Yeah, so that for me was I was ecstatic because one, I've never played goalie before. I play center back. So for me to be brought on staff to coach the goalkeepers, that was that was special because I know normally, you're trying to get someone, most people would look to someone who has experience in that field, who has, know all the technique. So for me, it took a lot of research. Um, it took a lot of like knowing the fundamentals, the foundation, so that I can, help the next goalkeeper.
Of course, as you said, what was that like when you said you had no experience previously as a goalkeeper, then getting to coach the goalkeepers?
So for me, I was a little nervous going into it because I was like, I don't have no experience. Do you, second guessing myself, will I be good? Or will I help? Will I help these players? But I think during my volunteer period, what I did was I took them through the basic, and the staff was impressed. Like, wow, you really took them through the basic. You really helped them. You really developed them. So we don't see that you can take them to the next step. So that was, went in with a little nerves. But there was that belief from the people around me, the group, that I'd be like, hey, you got this. You can do it. And, my dad was right there through and through. Like, you've watched it so many times. My very first soccer coach was a goalkeeper coach. So I watched and I learned a lot from him.
Of course, what was that like getting started first as a grad assistant and a volunteer assistant before getting that assistant coaching job?
So, someone once told me it's not just the work, but it's also others seeing you doing the work. So that's what it was, coming in, doing the work, and the staff, the department seeing the work that I put in. It was really great, getting my master's. I did came in and I received that. So that was a great experience. And then to venture off into where you get that title. That was really, really good. Felt accomplished. It was never on my goal because going back, I never saw myself being a soccer coach.
Of course, following your time at Harcum, what was it like coming to Southern University and becoming the assistant coach there?
The transition, it hurt a little bit because I would say I had grown so attached to Harcum, special place in my heart. But I wanted to further my education. They didn't have that there, so it was more or less, you have to branch out, you have to expand your wings, you have to fly. So for me, it was more like someone leaving the nest, going, you know, venturing out into new opportunities. So a lot of things was a little bit different. The culture, the dynamic, more teams, the large teams. So that was new to me, and I was excited and ready to work.
What was that experience like when you first came to Southern and you got to experience being an assistant coach at Southern?
For me, it was, when you're going off into something or a place you've never been before, doing something you've never done before. So there'll be nerves for one. I was nervous, I was anxious, a little hesitant to a lot of the decisions to be made, but stuck by the book, stuck by the rules. And I learned to be open because you can't just come in with just that one mindset. I have to come in and I have to be open because one, it's a new environment, it's a new staff, new structure. So I have to come in open and with that understanding that things are going to change. Things may not go the way I want it to go. So everything is going to be different.
What does a typical game day look like for you as a coach versus for your players at Southern as a Jaguar?
So for me, typical day is I got to make sure that everything is running right, is on track. Organization for me is key. So for me, get up, listen to music for one. It's kind of keeps me calm, keeps me cool. There will be nerves sometimes depending on what game it is, and how you've trained and prep for the week. So depending on how you train and prep for the week, know the type of game it's going to be, the type of game that it's going to be, because as a coach, you can only do so much. You can prep them all you want throughout the week, but once it comes to game day, if the players are not ready to go, it's going to be hard because they have to basically play through you as the coach who has prepped them for the game day. So at times you're like, wow, I really hope they bring the A game today because I've been bringing it all week in practice and coaching them and building them up. So hopefully today they come out there and showcase it. So for us on game days, it's just a lot of preparation, getting organized, um, fine tuning things, just making sure that okay, we're ready to go out there, get my cleats, get my book bag, um, my shoes, and make sure I have something to hydrate while I'm on the pitch because I never sit down. I just be standing.
Of course, who are some of the teams that you face each week in your conference?
So we're in the South Western Athletic Conference. So some of the schools in our conference, you have Alcorn State, Grambling State, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Prairie View, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Mississippi Valley, uh, they say Prairie View, Texas Southern. Um, we do have two schools in our conference that don't play soccer, Bethune-Cookman and FAMU. They don't, have a soccer team at the moment. But those teams mentioned earlier are the teams once conference start, those are the teams we play week in and week out.
Of course, what is that like, obviously, hoisting those teams like Mississippi and Grand Valley versus going to Grand Valley State and playing them away?
Listen, there's no place like home. So, uh, it's always good to be at home and to play with your fans and to get that home crowd. So it's always good. Traveling, not all the teams are 10 minutes away, so traveling sometimes is never the best for any player. So I like to get that home field advantage where we wake up, we can, have our normal day and then play a game at 7 or 1 the next day. So I think that home field advantage is always best.
Of course, what is that home game atmosphere like on game day?
So home day for us, we'll get out there, make sure the field's set up. The players they'll come in, will go for snacks, go for lunch, at the cafeteria, just kind of hang out, maybe 2 hours, at least 2 hours before report. So their legs are not too heavy. They're not walking around too much. So they're just relaxing. We'll start off with, get some stretches in, basically like a walkthrough, just to do a mental walkthrough of the game, what we expect of each player, what we expect for them to go out there, for them to perform. So we'll do that. Once we get out there, ball roll. We get that rolling. We do have other sports teams that'll come and support us. So we support them, they'll support us. So they'll come, parents will, whether they're here or away, parents will come into town and support us. Also the school body, we invite our staffs, professors. So we make sure we send invitation out to everyone to stop by our game.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've helped to build for the program?
Say that again.
Can you talk about the culture that you've helped to build for the program?
Okay. So with us, we came in and we trying to build. With a lot of our recruiting staff that we bring in, we don't more so emphasize locally. We get players from all over. So when we go, we have players from Texas, players from Florida, Alabama, California, um, what's that? The DMV area. So we have players from all walks of life. We also have international players. So what we do, we bring in these players and we try to make sure that when these players get in, that we create a family environment, an environment where no one gets to feel homesick. Because I've, you know, shared my experience being away from home. I know that experience is hard, it's rough. It's not for everyone. But what we try to do family orientated activities to get everyone to be in. We have like a buddy system where we check in on each other to make sure that we feel at home. We tell the girls, there always someone that you can align with. If this person likes to do hair, you can, hang with this person. If this person likes to do nails, that's your go-to person. So don't get stuck in the room like, oh, I don't have anyone to be around. So we create that atmosphere where we're checking in on each other, being there for each other. And we always tell players, when you come, don't hide who you are, show who you are. Because I'm Jamaican and I never at any given point let hide that I'm Jamaican. I express that. So or Bermudian or players from Puerto Rico, we tell them, don't hide who you are, show who you are, let it be on display. Also, we do like a flags. Everyone flags at our games, so we showcase their flags so that they know their culture, they know their roots and where they're coming from. So it's not something that we tell players, oh, once you get here, you're Louisiana, or you're from the South. We're like, once you get here, show who you are. If you're from the North, you're from the North. If you're from the West, you're from the West. If you're from the East Coast, you're from the East Coast. So once you come in, just show who you are and the type of person you are.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to play collegiate soccer?
So, that process, Most players like to start out early. It's always good to reach out to coaches, get in contact. It's also good to, once you reach out to those coaches, you're interested, you know, attend ID camps. That's how the coach will see you. If the coach is going to like a showcase, send your game schedule, what field you're at, and all that, and never stop reaching out because there's so much one coach can view. There's a lot of athletes, and the more you make present to that coach, it is really good. So don't be afraid to do your campus visits, reach out to your coaching staff that you think, okay, this is the coach or the school I want to play for. So make sure it is known, not just one email and never email again, because most time in season coaches are busy prepping for now, for the present. And when they're out of season, they're recruiting. So it's good to start early, and it's also good to reach out multiple times as well.
As a college coach, what are some of the things that you look at in those perspectives to athletes when going out on the road recruiting?
So for each individual position, we look at how well you can handle the position. Um, Another thing we look back at, can this player fit our system, which is our style of play, and also our culture. Once all those things are, ticked off the chart, we look at, okay, if you're a goalkeeper, you got to be top notch, making some saves. If you're a center back, you got to be good, like making headers, body position, playing midfield. You know how to roam the field. A striker, you know how to placement, you know how to finish. So various positions require various, I would say, various talents. So, but all rounded, we look for a lot of criteria here.
What does that official visit look like at Southern University?
So when it comes down to that aspect, it comes down to like coming into the school, getting a full tour, being a part of basically, you're getting to be a part of the team. You're getting to be associated with the program before you even sign. So you get into hop right into it and just be a part of it, to see how it is. You get to be with the girls, you guys get to socialize and you get to bond and you get to know, you know, is this for me? And do I see myself here for 4 years?
As a college coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that Southern University jersey for the first time versus your seniors putting it on for the last time?
Emotional all around the board. First time, even the day before, I'll definitely check on them. But like, I know t- tomorrow's going to be a rough one. Tomorrow's going to be fun. As it regards to a lot of nerves, but we try to have those conversations where I let a lot of the nerves go away. For my seniors, emotional when it's like that senior day of that last game. I'll say go out there, play with pride. Just remember you did enjoy the moment, you did give it your all, and that's all I ask for.
What is it like as a college coach seeing those seniors go on and go into the NWSL or even professional soccer overseas?
Yes, we do. We also have a few of our very own players who are at the professional level. And for sure, if I'm like in town or anything, I'll definitely go check them out. But as it regards to that, you're just proud as a coach to see an individual that you've helped build up and to see them get to that level. Because not many people get to that level, because I know I won't, because yeah, I retired. But to get there, being in the stadium, being in the stands, and to see that, oh, I remember when I was teaching this player, 1v1s, or how to clear the ball out, and to see this player lead, get out there, showcase their talent, it just makes you proud as a coach.
What are some of your future plans for the program moving forward?
For definitely for our program, we definitely just want to get the program out there, let others be aware that Southern University do have a women's soccer program. Definitely do a lot of more outreach, getting our program out there so that others can know, come to our game. see your games, and see, always we can always any program can always get out there, showcase our talent, let them know that we have a great soccer program here. Keep on recruiting, bringing in strong talents that we definitely can improve on, and bringing in players that can get us to that level where we win a championship. So getting building the program, letting others aware, bringing a championship mentality mindset, bringing in lots of trophy here for us, and to keep the program growing.
What advice would you give those high school athletes looking to become college soccer players?
What I'll say to them, once you get to a level where you know that, okay, I want to go off to college, start looking at the schools, look at the program, look at the culture. I think in this age, everyone tends to go to social media. So that's the first thing you want to look at. Look at the social media and say, okay, is this school for me? Is this school somewhere where I want to go? Because outside of soccer, you're a student, and you want to make sure that they have the program you want to do. And then outside of school and soccer, you want to make sure that a program, that the school itself has a great connection where you can come enjoy it, and enjoy your 4 years. Where after 4 years, you can come back and say, I did enjoy my 4 years. I did enjoy going to school here. So I say reach out early, do college visits, follow teams, follow programs, do some of the research before you even get into the programs.
What advice would you give those freshmen entering their first year of collegiate soccer?
I'll say, be brave, be bold, and always work hard, because the work you put in, your coach is going to see it. Nothing goes, unseen. Staff members, everyone is looking. So just make sure you know that the camera's on you, and it's action nonstop. So just be ready for action, action, action.
What advice would you give those seniors that are looking to play professionally, whether it's the NWSL, nationally, or even overseas?
So, to those seniors that are looking to do that, I'll say to them, just keep working hard. As in regards to even submitting videos, you can do that. Submit videos, keep working hard, keep showcasing yourself. Don't think that, okay, because you send one video, it's the end of the road. There is unlimited amount of like talents and stuff like that out there. So don't be afraid for that.
What advice would you give those soccer players that are in college that are looking to go into college coaching like you did?
So I'll say you gotta love it, because it's a lot of work, and you have to love, working with kids, and I would say love giving back, because that's how it started for me. I wanted to give back to the players. I wanted to give back to the next generation. Like what I've learned, I want to give back to them. So you have to love the game, and you have to love giving back, because there are going to be days you're like, wow, this child, yeah, is pushing me. So I have to know how to deal with that. You have to be a people person. You have to know how to deal with a lot of individuals, because it goes back. We brought in a lot of players, different culture, different backgrounds. So you have to know how to deal with players from different background and different situations. So be a people person, handle different situation, and know how to do that. And you just gotta be the life of the game, because you have to make it fun for them, because you have to make them remember why they started playing soccer. They're like, oh, we're 19, we're 20, but you still have to bring them back to why I started playing soccer.
What advice would you give those assistant coaches looking to get started in coaching in college soccer?
What I'll say to them is, don't give up. Just keep working, because you never know when your opportunity, or you might get that call, someone that's been watching you, or someone that saw you, be like, oh, I saw you're doing a great job. Why not just come in and help out some more? Or you get called up to a higher position, because you never know who's watching. So you just got to keep working.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Southern University Women's Soccer Program at?
So we're on Instagram, Southern U underscore soccer. On Twitter, Southern U underscore WSO. On Facebook, Southern U underscore WSO. Um, as it regards to my social feed, I only follow those who follow me or I'm associated with. Because I use my feed as, one of those feed that for me, it's a little personal, so I don't like to get like the negative stuff. It's all positive, all soccer for me all day. Once it comes to my page, I'm on Twitter. It's SHEN underscore RYTE. That's more like my social feed, as it regards to getting out there, getting to know others. As it regards to any future athletes who are looking to go off into us, it'll be my first name, Sheneaka Wright, WRIGHT at sus.edu. So I take emails, I reply. I normally, if I can't reply right away, I normally save it and then try to get back to it, just to reach out because I like that being a part of, the recruiting process, just so that you get out there, you recruit. So if recruits reach out, it's always good to try to reach back out, let them know, hey, we're missing something. Do you have this information? Do you have that information? So I think opening those channels to communication is always key.
Thank you again, Coach Sheneaka Wright, for your interview and best luck in your future at Southern University as the assistant women's soccer coach.
Thank you very much.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Sheneaka Wright, for your interview and best luck in your future.
Thank you very much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.